good Sunday evening to you, depending on where you're coming from or tuning in from. I uh, I wanted to do something here tonight. I wanted to kind of pass a bit of knowledge on. If you know me, you don't know me. My name is Sean Digg, and the reason why I do the things that I do, at least currently, why I do the things that I do, are because I believe that every person, every single person who is out there, okay, is going to face trials and tribulations. And what do I mean by that? Well, for myself, I'm a person who has come from, maybe this is easier. Do you ever hear there's two sides of the tracks? I used to get this a lot when I was younger and dating girls. And be like, you don't want to be with that boy, he's from the wrong side of the tracks. And I'd be like, yeah, that's it. Hey, thank you. What's up, Tajmir? How you doing, girl? Getting into some talking. So, wrong side of the tracks, right side of the tracks, type thing. And I would get this over and over again. Yeah, he's from the wrong side of the tracks. He's from the wrong side of the tracks. And for a long time, that stuck with me. All right. And I don't want you to think that this is a sob story, because that certainly is not what it is. What it is an unveiling of something that took me a very long time to understand, which is that perception, okay? Perception of yourself, perception of others, perception of maybe things that have happened to you, and more importantly, understanding what that word even means. I'm glad to see you're good. I'm glad you got some sleep. I know you needed that too. But back to the word, what it means, right? Perception, receiving, collecting, taking action of possession, all right? Apprehension with the mind of sense. That's a whole lot of words, right? Whole pile of words. So what does it mean to you? Well, what it means to me is this, is that certain things, if they keep or stay, in place, will keep a certain kind of perception of thyself, if you're with me. So for me, it was being that guy from the wrong side of the tracks. Well, I did not see that as a bad thing. In fact, I seen that as an opportunity to create something that would make me strong enough so that I could prevail, all right? So that I could not be from the wrong side of the tracks eventually. Now, the latter part of that was not something that I understood till recently. And why I want to explain this, and I hope that it's coming through as well as it can, is that time goes by incredibly fast. It seems the older you get, and I know that's cliche, but it does seem to go by quicker. So that is my perception. And also it has been my perception that there are areas where I have fallen short in life. Areas where I've doubted myself. Areas where I have changed my perception, bent it, allowed it to be manipulated and used against me. But I did that. And why that part's important is because it's easy to blame. It's hella hard to own, right? Whatever it is that you're dealing with, you need to take a moment and make sure that all the things that you are putting around you, okay, your energy expansion, how much you're giving out, all right? And a lot of the people I know that come through here, whether they're here now or they come by later, will understand this. is that there's only so much gas in the tank, all right? And eventually you run out of it. But there's a way of burning through it fast, and there's a way of controlling that pace. And that ties back to perception. Am I am. There's a difference. Am I blank or I am shine? Am I you? Are you me? Yes, on many levels we are. Such is my perception. And I believe that there is a lot more that we have in common that we do not. Welcome, brother. And I refuse to believe that anything is less than that, okay? We get to decide when and where we change, how we change, and why we change. We also get to decide to stay exactly the damn same, right? We pretend to care sometimes. We pretend that we're putting ourselves somewhere in the mix. And again, this is not belly aching. This has just been a lifetime of observations of where I know I could have done just a bit better. And the thing about doing just a bit better is that just a bit better is like throwing a stone in a compound. You just throw that thing up in the air. I'm not talking about skipping stones. I'm just talking about tossing a pebble in a compound and watching that ripple effect. That's one little thing you did. How many ripples have you created? Ponder on that for a minute now. I've learned a few things. Probably the most important, which is also the most important to keep in the forefront of my mind. I'm not sitting here to tell you how to do things or what you should be doing. I'm just saying, I've had a minute to think. And I think that that's worthy of sharing, because if it's not doing no harm, it can only do the opposite, right? So don't be too hard on yourself. If people are, and you're allowing it to happen, don't just cut and run. That's not a solution. That's just not the answer, right? You got into what you got into for a reason. Now, times get difficult. We bicker. We say and do things that we can never take back. Sticks and stones, man. I heard my boy saying that the other day. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I had to silence that voice that wanted to scream. If you only knew the difference, right? And we do. That's what's important, is that we do know the difference. So we can be the change that we want to see every single day that you want to do it. And all you really have to do is just try to be the best you that you can be every single day that you can do it. Do what you got to do to get to the things that make you, you. Right? There's always going to be strife. There's going to be that person who causes difficulty in your life. But rather than just dismissively being passive or maybe aggressive, which is my particular case, not so much anymore. I've learned how to be a bit wiser with it. However, there are certain things that just I cannot not allow to happen. I cannot allow somebody to do something which I deem inappropriate in front of a child. I cannot stand by and allow something to happen to somebody else because, not because of I know something more or I believe in something different. It's simply because if not you, then who, right? If not you, then who? So be that who. Be the best you can be. Show up for the people that you've made your commitments to. And if you make a promise, okay? If you make a promise to somebody, keep your word. There's one thing that I really wish I had understood a bit better at a younger age, okay? And words have a way of mincing, right? Sometimes we just say, yeah, I got it, because you got to move on. You want to move on. You want this to be done and go on to the next thing. And then there's other times when you get that quick, like, time freezes. And you become illuminated. How many of those I have let slip through my fingers that I will not do anymore? At least I hope not to. Never's a long time, as somebody once said. But I can try my best, and I intend to. And that comes back again to how this conversation started, which is perception. The perception of myself has changed. The perception of myself has been rearranged. For once it was damaged beyond repair, broken, shattered, sunken, riddled with fear. But now I'm here. And now I'm gonna stay here because I am Shine and you are you. We set the pace. We don't let the darkness take over. We might have to recede. That's just part of the battle strategy. But you can't give up. And if you're asking for help, in whatever sense you're doing that, okay? Ask for it correctly. And what I mean by that is when we get flustered and we get frustrated, it's very easy to give up but have hope. It's an interesting situation to put yourself in. And I know it firsthand, all too well. Doing the worst things and asking for a savior. When really all I had to do was just stop doing the worst things. Because the savior has always been with you. It's been with each one of us. However you understand that, okay? You may hear it as a voice. You may have heard it on and off, or that intuition. I like to call these the unmeasurables or the unspokens because there simply are no words that I know of to describe them. But you know they're there. You feel it inside of you with every part of you when you are in the right and when you are in the wrong. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those things unless you don't finish strong. And what I mean by that is if you've done something wrong, say you're sorry. If somebody done something wrong to you, you got a couple options. You can let them slide, but the little things become the small things. You can blow up, don't suggest that one. Or you can hit them with one of these. I'm sorry you feel that way. But this makes me feel like this. And unless you get it together, I'm done. What I just did there was I grabbed your attention, I alerted you, and then I put it back to me. And then I enforced my boundary. And then you're gonna get a nope, 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 nope. Hello, Blue Inspire. I'm sorry, guys. I've been on a roll here. I just kind of been talking and flying this off the cuff. So thank you for coming. It's not that I don't appreciate you coming and commenting. I absolutely do. This was just something that I wanted to get out there, and I know that I do have road to go. As they say, for every mile of road, there's 2 miles of ditch, right? And that's all right. There's gonna be bumpy spots along the road. There always is. But we need to continue to do the best that we can to set the example for not just the people that are coming up, but the people that are wherever they are. You know what I mean? I'll leave it at that. And I find that the easiest way to do that is just to keep it simple, keep it pleasant, because there's a way to be pleasantly positive and absolutely delivering your point. And that comes from that perception of yourself, that you are absolutely enough. You have always been enough. And how you know that, and if you're still listening, is because you've learned that your own way. All right? There's different ways of framing it, and I do not like to create boxes to channel somebody's thoughts. What I encourage you to do is to sit and digest those thoughts. And how you do that is by taking a minute away from all of this, all right? All of this, and putting it right back into you. That 10, 15 minutes of just, right? Where am I? Why am I? How am I? Whatever questions you have, for whoever you have them for, ask them. But be prepared to hear the answer. And know that there is a major difference between listening and hearing. And I believe it's wisdom. I see Jamal up in here. Bless you for coming. Bless all y'all for coming. I see Start here, Tashmere. Are you still here? You're rocking it out, man. I'm not even gonna ask what time it is, where you're at, but I know you got some sleep, so you're good. That's good. Oh, hey. Oh, thank you. Seriously. I wasn't planning on getting on here and doing this, but I think it's something that I might do a little bit more. And for me, I call these times strikings. And what I mean by that is that, again, words fall short sometimes. And a striking, for me, I can visualize it like this. It's like a lightning bolt will hit me. And for me, sometimes it's hitting live on here. Sometimes it's making a video. Sometimes it's in the community. Most of the times it's in my community outside of here, because I'm a big believer in community. Look around, man. Do you know your neighbor, right? Do you trust your neighbor? And if not, then why? Why are we doing that, right? Why do we do these things to each other? Because the common sense is that we're a whole hell of a lot stronger together than we are divided. Show me a case where that's different, right? And I'll become a believer. But till then, no. And for somebody who has tried their damnedest to hit the bottom of every rock, I can tell you that there is always further to go. But greatness is just on the other side of that. So, y'all know what it is. Mad love to everybody. I truly hope you stay well, blessed, in whatever it is that you are facing. Know that you're gonna get through it, but you gotta get real. What do I gotta do? How am I gonna do it? And do I need a little help? And if you do, ask for it. All right? Ask for it. Till then, keep on shining, baby. We out.